Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Mike Langford. I'm a recording engineer, music producer, and mixer based in Toronto, Canada. Just had to think there for a second. Spent a lot of time on the road today. Welcome back to Let's Mix Live. And on this channel, we do live stream mixes, start to finish, warts and all, or kind of start to finish, showing you some modern production techniques, ways to make your music sound better or great. And again, not here to show you what you should do, but what you could do. If you're wondering where I get these sessions from, there's a website called Cambridge Music Technology. Fantastic resource. Tons of different multi-tracks there for educational purposes. That's what we're here for. And entertainment. Educational resources, but fantastic resource if you're a new mixer or even experienced mixer. The main thing about it that I love is there's tons of different genres on there, from folk music all the way up to metal. It's all there for you to mess around with. So details down below if you're watching on YouTube, which you should be. But yeah, highly recommend that. So let's get into it. I have limited time today. I'm just letting everyone know that I'm good until 8. Still a couple errands I need to run because things aren't open tomorrow, because tomorrow's Good Friday. I was in the car a lot today too. It's funny around Toronto where sometimes a place to go somewhere might take an hour, and then to get home takes 2.5 hours. That was a real thing today. I planned on getting home a little bit earlier and do a couple things, and away she goes. So we are back working on Candlebox Happy Pills. Yes, Candlebox has songs up on Cambridge Music Technology, believe it or not. So when I saw this, I thought it was pretty cool. They have 2 songs up there, so I'll probably do a second one in the near future. Hopefully the stream's going okay. I see that the stream quality is fair according to OBS, so we'll see how it goes. All right, where we left off, I do have the correct session up this time. Last time I loaded the wrong one because it wasn't laid out the way it usually is. So we're in Mix Prep 5. We're still not into a spot where I think it's sounding like, yeah, this is sounding good to me. It's sounding okay to me. But until I get there, that's when I change it over to reference. But until then, it's just mix prep. So all I've done so far is open it back up, and I put back our 1 kilohertz test tones just so I can make sure a whole rig here is working. So, the disclaimer, because I am EQing, I'm sweeping around the frequencies. So be mindful listening on your speakers or your headphones or your line array PA system in your basement. You know who you are. Just be mindful of your listening levels. Don't want anything to happen to your gear or your ear. It doesn't really rhyme, like gears and yeah, anyways. Okay, so just gonna run this just to double check. So in 3, 2, 1. Oh, that sounds good. Always sounds good. So I'll just and I did the thing again where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that app or that widget or plugin or whatever it is so that people can see my keyboard commands. I didn't do it again. Again, just by the end of the year. So where I would normally pick up on a new day, get our writing utensil out here. I have so far I have all of our notes on one page, which is good. There's not a lot of notes. There's just a couple ear candy things, and then when we eventually get to it, do a clean version. So I mentioned it last time. I think I did a little bit of a rant. But yeah, if you don't have to put sentence enhancers in your song, you shouldn't. But if you need to have it, you should also have a clean version of your song as well. So probably not today, but Monday. So maybe make a clean version Monday. We'll do that. And yeah, no, Friday's the holiday. Monday is, well, I guess for me, it'll probably be the day of rest. Okay, I'm just going to listen through and kind of hear where we're at. I'm kind of nervous to listen right now, to be honest. I've been playing a lot of drums today, and when you play a lot of drums, sometimes your top end starts to slide a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. So again, this is, we're just going to have a listen through and make some notes. This is Happy Pills by Candlebox on Let's Mix Live, where we do live stream mixes and mess around with stuff because it's fun. All right, be right back. I'm going to mute myself so I don't talk over it.
you see it's all over this face that stares back at you, stares back at you. From your happy pills, they won't keep you well tonight. Nice.
I'll be the one who lets you shudder. I'll be the one that holds you under every time I see you slip.
There's more to me than to tell. Lies. So you take a step back all that's surrounding you. Mind and you won't believe when this crowd lifts. So watch your mind back. You find it's all over you now. Got it all over you now. You got it all over you now. You got it all over this face that stands back from these. These happy pills, they won't keep you well tonight. Not tonight. No, no, no.
I'm not clapping for the mix. I'm clapping for the song. I love this song. It's so good. It rips. I love it. I don't know what the kids say anymore, but whatever the kids say, that's what this is. Whatever the most recent things that the kids say. Okay. I have to come. I love the drum track. The drums in this, for me, there's so much that's working for me. My first thing, I'm liking the vocal sound. I think how it's sitting in the track. De-esser, gotta get that sorted because there's just a couple spots I think are jumping out, but we can work that. We moved the guitars in. We made them a little bit narrower, just when it's by itself. But I think we can push them out just a little bit more. So just kind of find the happy medium. So we still have the width of the guitars on either side. I want to do that. The bass tone, there's still a couple things. I want a little bit more growl from the bass tone. So maybe we'll try something else. Usually I use SansAmp to get it, but maybe we'll try Decapitator or something to do that. We'll see about putting Gullfoss on. And it just works with the top end with what's going on there. The guitars, they're not bugging me today. They were really bugging me. Like I don't want to say I went to bed sad. You know, I believe you shouldn't go to bed angry, and also you shouldn't go to bed sad. It's okay to be sad and somewhat angry, but like, you shouldn't go to bed angry or sad. But I was a little bit sad because I'm like, I don't know if the guitars sound any good, but like listening with fresh ears, I'm liking how they're sounding today, so that's good. And that alternate Vox tone that we had over here,
I'll be the one who lets you
turn that up a little bit. I like that though. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, do we have the L2 on that yet?
I'll be the one who lets you shudder. I'll be the one
It's not doing anything yet. And there's another couple things I wanted to consider trying on the mix bus. We just have our channel strip acting as our compressor right now. But there's a couple of things I wanted to try just out of curiosity. I think I have some SSL stuff. Like full disclosure, we all have, and I mean we as the collective of people that do mixing and engineering and producing stuff, we all usually have a huge pile of, it's gonna move the camera. We usually have a pile of EQs, compressors, just plugins that we never actually use. Because when you start using templates, it can streamline and make your workflow a lot more efficient, but sometimes you don't experiment with other EQs and compressors and effects that you may have access to. And then you stumble on something, you're like, oh, this is great. I wish I used this like a while ago because now this makes me sound better. So there's a couple of things. There's still some punch out of the drums that I feel like I'm missing a little bit. So I might mess around with that a little bit, but there's a couple of things I wanted to try there. So that's kind of my notes. It's not very much, which is good because again, limited time today. Leafs are up 1-0 already on Washington. I'm just glad that that's mathematically, and I guess factually, the Leafs can't play Buffalo in the first round. I know everyone's like, oh, they're gonna play Boston, and it's like, I'm just glad we're not playing Buffalo. All right, where Where are we gonna? Let's do some headphone stuff right now. So let's just go ahead and we'll move these guitars back out a little bit. That one's fine.
To keep you well.
This one I want to put back over. So right now we're at 35. Turn off our groups. Push this out. Maybe just throw it at 50. 50 sounds good. Because one of the best things to do when you're mixing is to not actually listen to some of the things you're doing. Just make the moves. Just go ahead and make the moves. That looks good. And then this. Bring that up to 50. We'll work first, and then we'll make some decisions. It's when I can hear the intro music off to the side a little bit. I just had to turn that down.
Keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side? Well, it's so fucking nice to have you here to turn our lives from what we fear. Sometimes you're worthless and we keep
It's this
you
other
well.
guitar I think I need to add a little bit of top end to.
Screaming out loud. Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side? Well, it's so fucking nice to have you here to turn our lives, keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side? Well, it's so fucking nice to have you here to turn our lives from what we fear. Sometimes you're worthless and we get low. Will you ever grow? Here I am, I wanna help you out. Can't you see yourself? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at
I can buy that. All right, this bass. Oh, also what we should do. Save. Save as. Save as mix prep 6. I believe we will get there today where we can name it a reference.
keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you
I can buy that. Okay, so this is bass. The distorted bass. It's not doing it. It's not moving the needle. So let's try Decapitator. That's my other kind of go-to for a lot of distortion sounds. There's a lot of good things with Decapitator. It's great on vocals, great on drums, great to glue your drum subgroup together as well. It's distortion or saturation, more saturation than distortion. Let's see if we can find some inspirato in here. There might be some business in here. There might be something good in here.
I got you, stares back at you from your happy pills. They won't keep you well tonight. Keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's around you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side? Well, it's so fucking nice to have you here to turn our lives from what we fear. Sometimes.
There's some stuff going on with that Sans Amp setting. Pro Tools. Daniel's here. Said neural DSP stuff's 50%. I saw that. Should you want to grab sick? But apparently, there's already a plan to get the credit card out and grab a couple things, because I was going to grab some neural DSP stuff at the end of last year to get those in as expenses for the 2021 tax season. But I was also thinking, like, I don't really need it right now because we're kind of I'm good right now. I know that I didn't need it, and then when I saw it 50%, I was like, okay, now I need it. So thank you for the heads up, and good to let everybody else know that. Unfortunately, this message does have a time. What's the word I'm looking for? Time matters right now, because I think it's on until the 18th. 18th. So sorry, this message does have an expiry date, but no, that's on my list to grab a couple of those things. I'm feeling this right now. A little bit of gargle. Trying to add.
Sometimes you're worthless and we get alone. Will you ever grow? Where I am, I wanna help you out. Can't you see yourself? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's around you. You see it's all over this face that stares back at you, stares back at you from your happy pills. They won't keep you well tonight.
Love it. I'm going to hop out of the headphones for a second because I want to mess around with some stuff on the 2-bus. No, I'm going to mess around with the de-esser in the headphones. It's like I noticed it right away at the beginning.
Sometimes you wait,
Sometimes you. There's a lot of stuff going on there. I normally just put my de-esser on my subroot for vocals when I'm feeling good about it, and I'll just double check it at the very end. But the way things are going with this, I'm gonna mess around with it. And again, I'm not precious about some of these things, so I'll just mess around with the stock. For those that get the joke, the stock digi de-esser, but
Sometimes you
that's pretty aggressive.
Sometimes you wait. Sometimes you wait. Sometimes you wait. Sometimes you wait. Sometimes you wait to see yourself. Take happier pills to keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Sometimes you wait.
That bass is raging now.
Take happier pills to keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side when it's so fucking nice to? Sometimes you wait to see
Sometimes just try 2 de-essers.
happier pills to keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud.
I can buy that.
Never ever heard what you said. Can't you see yourselves? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take.
All right, I can buy that. That was not as painful as I thought it might be. Sometimes with de-essers, we can fart around with them for quite a while. Usually put just 1 de-esser on my main vocal subgroup, but I've got one on the, so just copy this over. We have one on our main vocal and our background vocal as well. Oh, that's the little pickup part there. I'll just put it on there. Why not? It's not gonna make it any worse. It should at least. I'm gonna hop into the headphones for a second because I want to just do some rebalancing and I want to check something on the main mix bus as far as there's a couple other options for compressors, and usually like the soft rule of thumb is once you have your mix bus compressor there, kind of don't touch it after. I don't worry about that. Reason being, I rebalance all the time. So to rebalance your drums into that mix bus compressor, everything downstream shouldn't be that big of a deal. Even the saturation with the J37 there, the tape machine, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. But again, this is also why I save a whole bunch of different sessions, like save as sessions when we're working. So if it starts sounding like trash, so we can always just go back. I know that at the end of Mix Prep 6, it was sounding pretty good. So this is the one we can mess around with it. So first one I want to actually mess around with, I'll just move this down, move that down, is, where is it? It's the Crystal Algae, like he has a mix down. Yeah, I wanted to mess with this because I've had some success with this on some rock mixes in the past. There's something about the way the getting about 2 or 3 dB of gain reduction, it can kind of make the drums a bit punchy. But also overall, I want to add a little bit more brightness. We could get the brightness from Gullfoss, but I wanted to try this as well. So be right back. I'm gonna listen. Actually, I'm gonna have faith in the headphones. See what the headphones do. So what I want to do, I'm just going to throw this on here.
Sometimes you wait to see yourself. Take happier pills to keep you well.
Yeah, no, I think this will be okay. I'm going to... One second. It's a lot of kind of mud in there. stuff going on there. I'm gonna hop out. I want to listen to speakers. I want to hear if there's any air moving with the new mix bus compressor. Be right back.
you see it's all over this face that stares back at you, stares back at you from your happy pills. They won't keep you well tonight. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side? Well, it's so fucking nice to have you here, to turn our lives from what we fear. Sometimes you're worthless and we get low. We live a grow. Here I am, I wanna help you out. Can't you see?
I didn't think it would crash it, but I'm curious to hear what Golfos does to the top end. Overall, I'm liking the punch we're getting from the CLA mixdown plugin. I know it's not fair to A/B that and the stock Pro Tool channel strip compressor we're using, because there's definitely a lot more saturation and just odds and ends that it's adding in. But overall, it's doing the thing that I wanted it to do. Just kind of glue it together a little bit. I noticed that our snare sample was not going through our drum subgroup. That happens sometimes, and it definitely sounded a lot different once we put that through the subgroup. So just kind of rebalancing things, and there's still a couple frequencies in the guitars that's bugging me. I'm a subtractive EQer. I'm constantly notching things out that are bugging me. In case you're wondering too, I don't know the frequencies, but I can hear it when I'm listening. And when it's bugging me, then I constantly turn the plugin on and off, or the EQ that frequency or that band on and off. And if I still hear what I'm hearing when I put it in bypass or turn it off, that's how I know I'm kind of chasing it. So in case you're wondering, I'm not just kind of guessing. It's like I do hear something that's kind of jumping out at me. So all right, I'm just gonna mess around with Golfos and see what it's doing. Be right back.
So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. Can't you sweep this shit to the side? Well, it's so fucking nice to have you here, to turn our lives from what we fear. Sometimes you're worthless and we get low. We live a grow. Here I am, I wanna help you out. Can't you see yourself? Can't you understand? There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. You won't believe when this crowd lifts on what you might find. Find it's all over you now. Can't you see it's all over this face that stares back at you, stares back at you from your happy pills? They won't keep you well tonight.
I'll be the one who lets you shudder. I'll be the one who holds you under every time I see you slip.
There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. And you won't believe when this crowd lifts on what you might find. You find it's all over you now. You got it all over you now. You got it all over this place that stares back
Gonna go back into the quieter room for a second. I like listening loud to make sure it's moving air, but I don't recommend mixing loud for long periods of time. Daniel's asking, do you think you'll automate volumes at all here or anything else for that matter? I don't automate too much. I get if we need to get a solo louder or something, I usually just duplicate the track and then usually just chop it there and make that louder. I just find automation annoys me because if I want to just move the fader, because I'm constantly nudging stuff, and this is just my workflow, I'm constantly rebalancing and nudging things around, and when you have automation on it, it doesn't allow you to do it as easily. So it's like you need to put it into its own aux fader, like bust it over to another aux fader and then move it from there. So I don't really do automation until kind of the end, and I almost leave some of the more fussier automation, I kind of leave it to the band or artist if there's anything else they want, because it's like, oh, can we just get the guitar up in the, the lead up in the chorus or something? It's easy just to do the automation there just to make them happy. So if they ask for a little bit, it's 1 dB. If they ask for like turn it up, I'll do 3 dB. I just, at that point, it's like just do that. But no, when we get to the solo section, I'm gonna just make sure I'm not gonna blast anything here. Because when we get there, because both the guitars are kind of doing stuff, and I don't feel like one's doing more stuff than the other one's stuff, so I would just kind of leave them, and then if the band's like, hey, can we get guitar player left up, or Kevin, or Jeff? I'm just assuming it's like a Kevin, or Jeff, or an Aaron, or a Steve, or probably not a Mike. Doesn't sound like Mike guitar playing. Hopefully that answers your question. Again, it really, like, automation to me really gets down to workflow. Because I know some people that automate the snot out of vocals and guitars and stuff like that, which is it's totally fine if that works for you, but I just stand on it with a compressor or a limiter. So what did I want to do? There was a vocal throw I wanted to get. Golfos, I don't think it's doing as much. I can hear it brighten up things a little bit, but not so much. The list is pretty small today. Not so much that I'm like, it's adding quite a bit. So I only unfortunately have until 8 p.m. today. And I started a little bit late. So I decided eating dinner would be a good idea so that you wouldn't just be hearing the rumbly tummy the entire time. So I'm gonna perhaps have a listen through and make notes for where I want to put those vocal throws. And then also on Monday, so we're here, Mondays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, subject to change because I might lose my Thursday evening soon. Next, on Monday, we'll do the vocal throws and we'll do the clean version as well. We'll kind of like pretend that we got to the end of where we wanted to today. So I'm just going to listen through from the top. I think overall it's feeling pretty good. I'm going to list it on the speakers, though, just because I like the song and it sounds pretty good. So, be right back.
Sometimes you wait to see yourself. Take happier pills to keep you well. Sometimes you talk to hear yourselves screaming out loud. Never ever what you
together. I'll be the one that holds you under every time I see you slip.
There's more truth in the way that you lie. So you take a stab at all that's surrounding you. And you won't believe when this crowd lifts so what you might find. You find it's all over you now. You got it all over you now. You got it all over this place that stands back from these. This half that feels they won't keep you out tonight. Not tonight. Get it out.
Okay, so that was straight on through, made a couple more notes. Daniel, it's funny because when you mentioned the automation, I heard there's an intro guitar part over here. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, yeah, I could probably turn that up. So I made a note with that around bar 22 is the guitar there. There's just the one vocal throw for sure. I'll listen again on Monday and I want to get that one. But overall, like I'm more or less happy with it. It sounds good, loud. It sounds okay to me in the headphones. So it's a rock song. Rock songs can rage a little bit. Also, one of the mentors I learned from mixing, for a lot of genres, vocals up, have them loud and proud. Make sure you can hear all the words. But rock, they can. What's the term he used? They can fight the track a little bit. They can fight the music a little bit, and I think there's part of that as well. Daniel says, sounds like a rock track. It does. It sounds like raging guitars and aggressive drums and rumbling bass. I don't know. Again, that's the thing. Like mixing's very subjective, but at the same time, I think bands should sound like bands. And if you've been in a room with a band, it can sound pretty edgy and pretty aggressive. So that's what I'm going for with this. I want it to sound like a band. Also, again, it's a band playing live. So that's another part of it too. I have to get going. I've got to go to the store before the store closes because no store's open tomorrow. And today was a bit of a bust trying to get back in time. Because again, sometimes it takes you an hour and a bit to get somewhere and 2 hours and 40 minutes to get home, according to Google Maps. So reminder for people. So one thing I can leave things on. So yeah, I'm happy with the progress today. Remember to back up your work. So file, save copy in, audio files. Make sure you do this because if you don't, you'll just have the .ptx file, and that is not enough. That's the recipe. That's not the ingredients. Hit OK. So little temp backup here, and I just put BU on there. Also, if you noticed, we have a reference, the date. This is my naming convention. Today is the 14th. It is April 2022. I was naming things 2021 for a bit, and then there's the second version that's there. And when I'm mixing, sometimes I'll have several versions going at the same time. Well, not at the same time, but just like as I make little changes, just in case it sounds like garbage, I can always go back in time. And then we'll start chewing through the numbers. Don't skimp on hard drive space. Gemma's here. How's it going, Gemma? Hope you're doing well. I'm just heading out because I got to go to the store before it closes. But I hope you're doing well. Hope people found today. I know it's a shorter episode today. Leafs are up 2-0 against the Washington Capitals. Just gonna move this over here. Move that over there. Well, hopefully short and sweet today. It's not the usual, 2 hours, close to 3 hours mix session today, which is not uncommon. And again, I encourage people, to take breaks often. For me, it's kind of that I don't know why that moved. For me, it's kind of that 2 to 3 hour window. I think is good. And then after that, I usually go for a walk or take a nap or try to not snack or something like that. But, just having those breaks and just fresh ears. Because again, like I was not happy with how the guitars were sounding at the end of last session, but turning it on today, my ears kind of mellowed a bit. And also it's been tricky on Thursdays. I've been playing a lot of drums lately. And when you have loud drums going all day and then you try to sit down and listen critically, it's a bit of a thing. That's why I wanted to do Thursday mornings. So hopefully in the future I can get a Thursday morning back. So really trying to stay to the Monday and Thursday things. It fits in nicely with the schedule-ish right now. So we'll see how it goes in the future. Again, we're working on Happy Pills by the band Candlebox. Yes, this is a Candlebox session. If you're wondering again where you get these, Cambridge Music Technology, fantastic resource for mixers, experienced and new coming. So details are down below if you're watching on YouTube for that. I'm going to stop rambling. My name is Mike Langford, a music producer, recording engineer, and mixer based out of Toronto. This has been that Let's Mix Live, where I live stream some mix sessions for educational and entertainment purposes, start to finish-ish, and warts and all, just showing you some modern production techniques. 'Cause there's lots of different ways to make your music sound great these days. So hopefully some of this stuff helps. And also, again, I'm not here to show you what you should do, but what you could do. Lots of ways to work. So thanks again for tuning in, everybody. And I will see you on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to help support the channel, remember, like and subscribe. And if you're in a band or something like that and want to pass this along, love to have more people in the chat. Love to answer questions. And if you leave a comment, it's a question in the comments, I'll answer that as well. All right, have a good rest of your evening, everybody. I'll talk to you later.